doing today on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday? I don't know if anybody will be on, and we're in the van. I'm gonna stop and get like a French fry or something for my stomach. I feel sick, and then we'll talk. Because if you read the header of this video, you'll know what I'm getting ready to talk about today on this drive. Let me just park. I feel sick. I don't know. I took cleansing tablets, and they just didn't agree with my stomach this morning. Hi, everyone. So, along with, I was thinking about this, everyone, because President Trump posted a post about actually sending Pam Bondi after Obama. And I was thinking to myself, this is getting kind of crazy. Like, why would he even do that? Well, you got to let shit go. And you can't keep going on like this, right? We can't keep doing this to our, we've got so much to worry about in our country that why do we want to keep doing this? Why do we want to keep reaching back to Obama errors and what fucking Obama did or didn't do? And what would be the why? What would it do but flare our country up even more than what it's already flared up? Picking, wanting to arrest Obama over stuff. I mean, I just think there's got to be a point in where he's gotta just go, okay, can't keep doing this, because it's a merry-go-round circle, everyone. It's a merry-go-round, and when you keep going after people over and over, our country can't keep up with it. And then the protesting right on top of it, I think it's just too much. It's getting crazy. And I think that when you start reaching back into Obama era and going, okay, well, he tried to prevent me from doing this, so I'm going to put him in jail, and I'm going to, when is when is the breaking point of enough going back instead of moving forward? Like, our country needs to move forward. We're in wars, we're doing too much, and it's like, when are we going to be at that breaking point to where we gotta stop doing so much crazy shit, man? I'm serious, because is it helping us? Will it help us? Will that help our country? Everyone, can I just sit for a minute and will that help our country? Fucking going after Obama. Will that help our country? Absolutely not. It ain't gonna help it. Will it make it worse? Absolutely. It'll just make the protesting worse and the violence worse and this and that. Is that what we want? Is that what we're keep going after? Fights after fights after fucking fights. I mean, I can't, when I wake up to hear half this news, I mean, I just can't even believe half this shit we're going through. I just can't. Let me get Facebook on real quick, because they're just wondering where I'm at. And so, that's why I said, everyone, who's next? Because, it just doesn't seem like anything's given up, and it's just like the next person and next person and this person and that person, and who the fuck is nobody. It's not right. Yes, you have a sword to wield, and you can wield it any way you want to, but is it necessary? Is it necessary? I mean, seriously. Is it necessary? That's what I'm just kind of wondering. Do you want the drama to continue over and over and over again? And that's why I said, like, there's got to be times where there is a really breaking point to a situation to where you go, okay, I can't, I'm going to sit back and focus on the country and how the economy's going, how our jobs, what's the job stability, gold's down, silver's down, and we're all fucking down at this point in time. We're all down. And so is this the right time where our country, we're feeling like everything's down? And so is this the right time? Hold on a second, everybody. I gotta order something. I'm just feeling sick today this morning. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. All right, and then I'll just pull over here and eat my lunch because I'm feeling fucking sick. Okay, I'm serious. It's like, let me rant about this. So I'm just saying, you know, that would be like, you know, the next administration, whomever that would be after Trump's term is up, going, let me go after him. I'm going to go after Trump, but I'm going to go after everybody, and you know, this stuff can backfire. This is just a temporary situation here. This White House right here is a temporary situation. This isn't, Trump is only in office, what, 3 more years, everyone. This is a temporary situation. And then when someone else comes in, then we got a whole big another storm, because then they'll be wanting to go after the Trump administration. And then the shit just keeps going on, and then we're fighting each other. We're Americans. We're Americans after all, and we're fucking fighting each other. We're fucking going at each other like fucking dogs right now. And who the fuck is next? I mean, who is next, everybody? And it gets sickening after a while. It really does. And yes, you know, even the protesters. I mean, I'm so sick of all this crazy stuff. Can't there be a happy medium in our life here? Can't there fucking be a happy song when we wake up, instead of, I'm going after you for something you did fucking 20 times, I don't know how many years ago. You know, you just keep going on and on and on and on and on. It's like, when will it stop? We can't keep going on like this, everybody. Our country's falling apart. When gold's down, you know our asses are in deep. You know, gold never goes down, everybody. And gold is, when gold goes down, you know we're in big trouble. When gold actually goes down, which gold should never go down, you know we're done. You know there's something strange going on when gold goes down, silver's down. You know, it's there's something happening, everyone. There's some sad shift. Hi, Mel says, I got a new Bob Ross. Oh, did you? I'm jealous, Mel. J.D. Vance is not going to be president, everybody, even though everybody thinks that he is and stuff. I mean, come on. This isn't funny, everybody. This is not funny. I mean, everybody just wants consecutive shit to just keep going. I want to get one, Mel. I love you. I just wish we can all get along together. But right now, we're in this war against ourselves. We're in a war against ourselves. And we're hurting each other. We're beating each other up. We can't stand one another. Hold on a second. Okay, everybody. You're right, my friend. Thank you, Mel. I mean, you know, and let's get, you know, thank you, sweetheart. Okay, so let me fucking park the van. I mean, I ain't even got a heater in here. Let me park the van, because I gotta eat. I'm fucking not feeling good. Okay, so let me just park the van and talk to all of you. Just let me pull over here. I don't even care where I'm pulling. I'm so freaking hungry. But, ooh! I went up on a snow pile, but it's okay. Okay. Anyhow, so what I was saying, everyone, is that we got real shit. Okay, just the other day, I'll tell you the truth. Just the other day, I was at work. I was heading to work, getting gas. And I look up in the sky. Now, we're fighting, okay? We're fighting, but there's a war above our heads that we don't realize. So I'm getting ready to pump the gas or get out for freaking hot chocolate. I look up and there's this long cylinder, white cylinder. It had no propulsion, no motor, no nothing, going through the sky. I physically saw it with my own eyes. A long cylinder, white cylinder. Now, and then the other night I looked out and there was this pure white, little tiny, like plane, and it looked like it was trying to, like, be hidden, like, so nobody wouldn't see it. We got shit going on and we're fighting each other like dogs. And we got shit above our heads that are happening right in broad daylight. I mean, can you make this shit up, everybody? Come on now. But yet we're fighting each other and shit's going on above our heads. And, you know, I'm not the only one that really seen this white cylinder. My friend Willa saw it. A lot of other people saw it. But no, we're seeing stuff, right? Yeah, let's have some lunch, everybody. I got a stomach ache. But, you know, we're fighting each other like dogs. I don't understand why. I just don't get this. I don't get this part of life. I think Trump's got to back up off of work. Hold on a second, everybody. Oh, shit. Okay. Hold on, everyone. Oh, shit. Let me put my fucking mute there. Hold on, everybody. I think we got a fucking... Oh, my God. Okay, hold on a second. I'm spilling shit. Facebook, sorry. I got Facebook watching and they're barely watching. I can barely watch it. Okay. I'm trying to elevate your Facebook right here. So, I'm just curious to know, like, why all this craziness? I mean, everybody's saying, you know, Tina, it's a cover-up because, you know, there was millions of Epstein files released. I am God serious. I am so fucking sick of hearing about Epstein files. I can't take it no more. This shit, this fucking Epstein shit, everybody, this fucking shit should have been addressed when it happened, when it was going on, when everybody saw all of this shit happening fucking umpteen years ago. Now you're bringing it to light now. I'm so sick of this. I mean, we can't fucking take no more. I'm God serious, everybody. If that's such a serious situation, that the Epstein files, why has this not been addressed a umpteen fucking years ago? We are over inundated with this shit, man. A lot of these ladies are 70s plus, close to 80 years old. I mean, I don't even know if they can find there were so many girls, but where are they? I mean, a lot of them, where can they find them? I mean, I'm just saying that we are inundated with, we can't hear no more of this stuff. I mean, you know, the files are released and it's probably not all of them, but, you know, what I'm saying is, why wasn't this a long time ago that we're not fooling with this stuff now in 2025, in 2024, 25, 26? It's like, it's never ending drama to have a storyline. It's and the Epstein files and everybody's covering it and, you know, and this and that. I mean, I think we're actually seriously sick of it. Are you? I mean, I'm serious. I'm actually sick of it. I don't know how you reach back that far. See, I can't. I keep moving forward. I mean, no matter the pain or the suffering, when you sit and live in pain and suffering, that you never heal from that. You gotta fucking move forward. You can't keep going, well, this happened and this happened. No, you gotta fucking lay the gavel down at some point in time and move the fuck forward. But no, we don't. We gotta keep going on and going on and going on. I mean, you know, we can read with our eyes what's in this, but what is it going to change? What is it going to change? Hi, everybody. Hi, Facebook. Hold on a second. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not, but think about this, everyone. You know, there's so much going on. And I mean, are you tired? Honestly, I mean, you know, God forbid, it's sad what happened to those girls. Allegedly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, half this shit, you can't even fucking know what, if you're reading shit, it's real, true, fake, whatever. I mean, you know, why did not these girls stop going there? Were they kidnapped? I mean, you know, it's just, there's so many things and so many questions that I have about this whole fucking situation. Why did those girls even want to go there? I mean, if they were in such torture and torment, why keep fucking going back there around these guys that are doing this shit to them? You know? I mean, this doesn't make me blow up the toilet. Thank you. I don't understand none of this, everyone. I don't understand any of this. Where the fuck were these young girls' parents? Okay, now, if you have a daughter, everyone, please forgive me. Okay, I can't. Hold on a second. Hold the fuck on. Let me take shit off. I can tell you right now that when I was a young girl like that, I was my mom's only daughter. I can fucking guarantee you that my mom would never fucking let me around shit like this. Do you know what I mean? As a young girl. Never. So how the fuck, where were all these young girls' parents at to know that their daughter is missing for weeks if they were with these guys? If you have a young daughter, everyone, you know, people are doing all kind of shit. But I'm just saying, I mean, this is endless shit, everybody. Endless fucking shit, okay? And I cuss on here. If you don't like it, so what? I don't care. You mosey on. But let me just sit up here. I gotta hit the fucking knees. I gotta hit my knees. It's endless. It's endless shit. And I go back to when I was younger. My mom would never fucking talk. My mom would not. How are these young girls being gone for a week at a time? My mom would never let me go nowhere with no guys for fucking, or anyone like that. No woman like Elaine Max or anyone like that for a week at a time or even a day. So where are these parents? Shouldn't the parents of these women be held accountable for their daughter? Like, you're not watching your daughter? You're not watching your daughter that is, they say these girls were underage? Where's the parents? Where the fuck is the parents? Now, I'm telling you right now, everybody, if you have a young daughter, are you going to allow your daughter to get on planes or be missing for a week at a time? Not even to go to a friend's house to stay overnight, because something could be, she could be doing something going on. You know how young girls are. A lot of these young girls, they're very, very sexually driven. I'm just saying too, everybody. A lot of these young girls, the hormones are flying. They're sexually driven, you know, whatever. But my mom would not ever tolerate that bullshit. You know, so I'm just saying how you got to blame everybody involved, not just the guys. Yeah, they're bad if they're going in. But where's the parents? Where's the parents at of these young girls? But, you know, I just feel like, you know, there's so much to that story. There's so much going on. that it's unbelievable, you know. I just think it's insane, everyone. It's really insane. How do you reach back all these years? And you know you were a victim, but you gotta, they should have done this investigation a long time ago. Exactly. There's no freaking way. Okay, and then I saw where they said this one girl got pregnant, they threw the baby in the river. Where the fuck were her parents at? What's wrong with these parents these days? Nah, see, this is just, I don't know what's going on. But I really blame the parents too. Sorry, I put that chili sauce in. Ooh, I love it. But it's rough. Preposterous. Yes, it is. And I just think that, you know, where were all these? And then they're saying some of the young girls, you know, could have been homeless or whatever. I actually don't even really believe that, because I think that's just them saying, well, you know, Elaine easily took advantage of them because they were homeless. You know what? A lot of this stuff is strange shit that's going on. A lot of this stuff is beyond strange. Oh, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were. So if they're getting paid hush money, then guess what? They're no better than the guys. So, you know, why are we sitting and worrying about this? If these girls wanted all this money and hush hush, and it's like going to the Playboy, you know, the Hugh Hefner's parties. Look at the young girls that went to Hugh Hefner's parties, you know. I think it's no different. How many guys went there that were celebrities and politicians and everything? I think it's absolutely no different. I think it's, honest to God, no different than the girls that were at Hugh Hefner's place. The same guys were still there. Absolutely. Thank you. Right. Yeah, I was almost ran out of gas along the road, right? That was a while ago. That was when it was warm out. I love it. But, you know, I just wish that this would go away. We got to do something with these Epstein files, because I just can't. To hear any more of this craziness is too much. Watch your kids. Guard your, if you have young girls, young boys, watch your kids. Watch your kids. Are you going to let your kids go to something like that? Are you really seriously fucking going to let your kids? If you have a daughter right now, would you literally fucking let her go? Even say, if she says that she's going to a friend's house to stay overnight for a week, would you believe that? My mom would say, fuck no, absolutely not. My mom would never tolerate that shit. And I was her only daughter. Do you think for 1 minute my mom would tolerate something like that? Hells to the fucking no. No freaking way. Absolutely no way. So I'd like to know why we're blaming everybody, but we're not blaming the parents. Yes, I do, Lewis. I love cussing. If you're offended, you got to go, honey, okay? I love you, but if you're offended by my cussy words, then whatever. Oh, whatever. I'm not arguing with you. Say what you want to say, child. But I'm just talking about real facts. And let me get back to, let me go over this way, everybody, and talk about this real quick. And this is like a little episode of Snap Talk Live, I guess, in the van. Crumbs are everywhere. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I ain't sitting and worrying today. How about that? I'm just spitting out some truth. I'm spitting out real incredibly beyond truth. Hold on a second. I think that this matter gotta get handled with this Epstein shit, because I'm so sick of the parents not being blamed for this. The parents are accountable for this, everybody. What happened to these young girls? The parents are accountable for this. This is because you're going to let your daughter walk out that door and go, okay, I'm going away to a friend's house for a week. That would not cut it with my mom. I would not cut it. Would that cut it with you as a parent, and you have a 14-year-old daughter, a 13-year-old daughter, or a 15-year-old daughter, or a 16-year-old daughter, and they're telling you that they're going over to, because you know these girls, how are they going for all this time getting on planes at 14, 15, 16 years old? How are they getting on planes and their parents don't know where the fuck they're at? I blame the parents. We gotta end this shit with this Epstein files. We're just so sick of hearing this stuff, everyone. I'm literally, you know, whether it's Trump or this one or that one, you get tired of hearing this bullshit, because it is a lot of bullshit, everybody. And you know, I don't understand how it's continued into 2026 the way it is. And no parent has stepped up, and no one has questioned the parents of any of these girls. Not absolutely fucking no one has questioned the parents of these girls. Meet me in the middle. I'm not Democrat nor Republican. I could care less about either party. I don't give a fuck about either party. Yeah, right? But what I'm saying is, if you have a young girl, a young daughter, and she's beautiful, you are not, you know, if you have a young daughter, you know what the possibilities could be. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me get Facebook on here, honey. Hold on a second. They want to hear it. There you go, Facebook. I'm trying to prop you up. So if you have, I can reassure you that any man that's watching this channel right here, right now, any man within the sound of my voice, if you have a daughter and she says to you that she is going to go with her friends for a week, if you let her do that without questioning anything, without talking to the parents, without finding out what the hell is going on, you are a bad parent. And guess what? You're no better than the Epstein file girls that their parents didn't give a fucking shit about them. I'm just keeping it. No, it's not trashed. It's just the top of the roof. Come on. You know, it's just the top of the roof, and we're talking real talk in the van. Hey, look, you want to talk? Look. There you go. And this is the studio. This is what you like. You like me in the van. So I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you in the van. So, you know, I would like to, you know, I guarantee you that anyone would say hell to the fucking no. Where is my daughter going? I would, you have to dig deeper into this, everyone. And I'm God serious when it comes to these Epstein files. You have to look more deeper into into the parents, into the fucking parents, everybody, you know, into the fucking parents. Not, you know, you're worrying about the guys, but it takes, you know what I mean? You're worrying about the guys. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about another guy in the Epstein file. I want to hear about the fucking parents, the parents that allowed their daughters at such a young age to go through that. That chili will give you ups. No, it doesn't. This chili doesn't do that to me. Yeah. I want to hear about the parents. Who are these girls' parents? Come on now, everybody. Nobody talks shit about that. Nobody says anything about that. No. No, I'm not, Sean. I will. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe, everyone. But I think think about this. Think about this. Where in God's name You know, in all reality, in actuality, the parents are the ones that should be held accountable for what their daughters went through. I'm not lying to you, everyone. Their parents should be actually. Did you? Great. No. I didn't say that, Don. I said that in this situation with the Epstein files, where were the parents when these young girls were on planes and traveling all around by themselves? I'm not saying that. You are twisting my words, and that's not right. No, it's absolutely not right. Where were the parents, Don, when these girls were saying we're missing for a week at a time and going on his island for weeks at a time, or going here and there and being flown all over, and that's your daughter? Would you like, Don, is that would you want your daughter to be like that? This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the men should not be held accountable, but the parents are the ones that should be held accountable for how they allowed their daughters to just go missing for weeks at a time and not know where the fuck they're at, Don. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So no, that's exactly what I'm saying. Well, where were their adopted parents? Where was the accountability of an adult in these young girls' lives? There had to be some accountability. No, I don't care. Where was the accountability? And, you know, when I think back, a lot of young girls, everyone, you know, a lot of parents really have a hard time reining in their young daughters, because girls, you know, we mature fast, and our hormones and everything else like that. And then, you know, who knows, they may have approached them and said, hey, you can make money doing this or that, and they fell for it. But where's the parents? Where's the parents? Where's the parents? Mm-hmm. Okay. Exactly. So that's how the men got to be held accountable, because if it was their daughter, now here's how I'm holding the men accountable also. Excuse me, give me a chance. First and foremost, it's the parents. Then when you go to these guys and you go, okay, you see these young girls that obviously have parents that are shit. They don't care where their daughter's at. And you look at these girls and you go, wow, if that was my daughter, I guarantee you, if Bill Clinton or even Donald Trump, any of them, their daughters, they would never have their daughter in this situation. So I can't even see how any man that calls himself a man would even want to even touch these young girls, knowing that these girls probably are so lost because they have no one guiding them. They need money, right? And they need money. And so I have 2 sons that are grown adults. They're married. But what I'm saying is, if I had a daughter, forget about it. I fucking have her right at my damn side 24/7. I wouldn't play like that. I was at my mom's side fucking 24/7. But what I'm saying is, the guys should have looked at these girls and went, wow, this could be my daughter. And I would never do anything like that to my daughter. And these guys definitely got to be, I mean, that's disgraceful. Disgraceful, because if it happened to any of their daughters, they would not like it at all. At all. At all. Absolutely a fucking not at all. And so that's disgusting. It's really disgusting. Exactly. Well, they're easier targets because, you know, these young girls probably, I don't know, I think you have to slip back into to their past and see what's going on with their family. Maybe a lot of them didn't have bad parents, and they were and they just needed extra money, and they figured, Elaine, whatever she was telling them, we don't know this whole, we don't, really, they were absolutely, they were all raped, no doubt about it. And they were young, and I can't even fathom how these guys thought that was okay to do that to these young girls. I can't even fathom. If my daughter would have, I would want to lose my mind, but I take it back to, if right now these guys, if they would sit and think, if something like that would happen to their daughter, what they did to other people's daughter, I'm gonna tell you something right now. They would not like that. Would they like the fact that an older man approached their daughter and had sex with their daughter and done the things that we heard were done to these young kids because they were vulnerable, because they needed money? That's rotten. That's horrible. And I blame both of them equally. I blame the parents just as much as I blame the men who done that. I blame the parents so much. I blame whoever was in charge of these girls just as equally as the guys, everybody. Just as equally. Because that's wrong, And so with the release of all this, I just don't even know. I mean, there's so much stuff that's probably taken out and names. And I mean, it's disgraceful. It really is. I don't give a fuck whose name was on there. I don't care if, I don't care if they're white, black, green, or purple. If their name's on there, and, and they've been on there and around these young girls. What don't you get the most of these? No, and I do get that, HPS. I said, and you're not listening to me, HP. SF, I said whoever is in charge of those girls. They were young. They were underage. They had to have someone in a parental control over them at such a fucking young age. So what are that you don't get? Yeah, exactly. What's Tina? No, I'm not saying this. I'm just saying it's a bad situation the whole ways around. And this stuff should have been investigated, handled. Guys should have been, the guys and the parents or whoever was the overseer of these young girls, they all should have been held accountable. It's crazy. Exactly. Richard, you're right. So who consented to them to travel with these guys? Because, you're getting young girls on a plane. Who consented to these young girls traveling with these guys? Are they looking into any of that? Hold on, Sean. They're coming quick, honey. Oh, yeah. Scan the AM radio. Yes, I'll get an AM radio, honey. But, I just think that when I look back when I was younger, and there's no fucking way. There's no way. I'm looking back as a young girl, and I can't even picture this. I can't even, picture this, But, so, I don't know what's going to happen, everyone. I mean, do you think Elaine Maxwell's the only one that should be sitting in jail? Do you think shouldn't there be more people than just Elaine Maxwell? These young girls got violated. Sean, I'm going to give you a sports. Well, exactly, Luke. That's what I was saying, too. I was also saying that, these... And here's another thing, everyone. When you think back as a young girl, and that someone has hurt you, or you didn't feel or you felt uncomfortable in a situation, why the fuck would you go back? Why would these girls go back over and over to these high-powered guys to do whatever? Why would they do that? That don't make no sense. That don't make no damn sense. Because they were getting paid good money, and so they kept going back over and over. There's so many victims, but we only see a few. Don't make this shit up. This stuff should have been handled a long time ago, instead of upsetting us in 2026 and 25. Exactly, the money. Yeah, I'm wearing my boots. But you're right. But if you know, okay, as a young girl, and you were in this harmful situation that someone has placed you in, and you finally broke free of that, wouldn't you tell your parents, somebody in charge? Wouldn't you tell someone, and would you go back there? A lot of those young girls kept going back over and over and over again. And so, you know, they didn't... All right, honey. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real, everyone. Why would they keep going? If I was hurt and I went somewhere and somebody hurt me or something when I was younger, I would be telling my mom. She would be whooping ass. But I'm just saying, I would not go back there no more. I would not want to go back there anymore, no matter how much, you know what I mean? Somebody paid me or didn't pay me or whatever. You know, pain is pain. If these girls felt this amount extraordinary pain that they're saying, why would you keep going back and putting yourself into this painful situation? You know, why? How can you be forced to go back? When if you tell somebody, or see, there was nobody in charge of them. So, I mean, I'm just keeping it real. How can all these amount of girls have no accountability parent? Not fucking one. The amount of victims that they're saying, and not one has any viable, accountable adult that they can go to and tell what's going on with what happened. Excuse me, what happened to them? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're right. You're right, Richard. You're absolutely right. And I think, I mean, here's just my opinion. I think if they went back knowing that they got abused so bad, I think the money aspect got higher. Well, you know, the next time you go back, you'll get 1,000 instead of 500 or what have you. And if a lot of those girls were struggling financially, you know, then they'll go, okay, $1,000 or whatever. You know, I don't know how much they were getting. No, I'm not a hooker. I look like one. But I just think it's sad, but I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to be held accountable. Because me, personally, if I was prosecuting this, I would be talking to the parents or whoever's in charge of these girls. Somebody had to be. I would be asking them, why did they allow this to happen? Why did you not know? I would be questioning the parents or whoever's the overseer of these kids. Yes, I did, Sean. I'll get a fucking AM radio. Just give me a time. I'll get an AM. And some stockings. How about that? Exactly. Cynthia, it's fake. Exactly. And the girls didn't know the right from the wrong. They did not know the right from the wrong. That's what I'm saying. Insanity level. They really didn't. And the more, you know, and Elaine probably, you know, put sugar on it. You know, well, they really want to see you. You know, whatever. I mean, I don't know. When you're young, you're impressionable. But what I'm saying is, you know, I remember when I was a little girl, you know, there was a situation. I went to visit a friend of mine. I'm not even going to say any names. But her father exposed his penis to me. And I went right away and told my mom. And my mom went the fuck right and wanted to bust somebody up. But I right away immediately did not feel comfortable and ran out of there and went right to my mom. Do you see what I mean? I went right to my mom. So, you know, but just like you said, a lot of these girls probably didn't have anybody to go to. But, you know, so it's sad. It's sad the whole ways around. But these guys are going to realize something, that when they have daughters, and they look at their daughters, they have to look at their own children every day, their own daughters every day. Every single one of these guys that touched or molested these young girls at that time, they have got to be held accountable, because every time they look at their daughters, right? Every time they look at their daughters in the face, they got to realize what they done to someone else's daughter. And that's the reality, right? Is because you would look at your daughter and go, could never have something like that happen to her, right? I don't know. But let's get back to this. I was wondering if really, I've been around, honey. I mean, I've been working so much, so my tapings gotten less and lesser, but I got to pick it up. I have off on the weekends. No, exactly right. Exactly. That is true, Richard. But what I am saying is that when you look at the picture of, okay, well, my gosh, you know, your daughter's been gone for a week and she's still gone, and she hasn't been back, and you haven't even talked to her. What part of this is wrong? You know, something's not right with that. Something's not right with that. I gotta go. Is she? Shut up, Sandra. Get out of here. We talk real talk on here, Sandra. You can't handle it. Go. Get out of here. If you don't like what I'm saying, that's your problem. You don't have to like it. It's my channel. Exactly. If you don't like it, go. Go. Go to where the wind blows. Go to where you like it. I don't pander to anyone. That's one thing about this channel. I don't fucking pander to people. Did she really? See, that's wrong. That's wrong. That is absolutely wrong. Preying on Richard. Preying on the weak, the homeless, the hungry. Disgraceful. Preying on girls that have issues. That's fucking wrong. Because they couldn't do that to me, because my mom would be pouncing. My mom would fucking pounce, dude. I'm telling you. when you have parents that like care about your life and your well-being, they couldn't do anything to those kind of girls. Like, they really fucking couldn't, I'm telling you. That's why maybe she went to all those places like that. Because if you have parents that'll back somebody up like that, they couldn't do nothing. Probably for that, I'm sure. Honey, why do you fucking care what color I am? If you do, then you need to get the fuck up off of here. Honey, why am I brown? Because guess what? I was born this way. But, yeah, I think that you gotta, it starts with the parents. Look out for your kids, my God. Look out for your daughters. I'm telling you right now, because, a lot of these guys that done that with these young girls, they have daughters. And those daughters could be, unless they're like my mom, that really, she wouldn't tolerate fucking shit like that. They would have to be careful, because it could happen to their daughters. That shit could happen to their daughters. And then they would find themselves in a situation where they, have daughters, and they're off. Oh, well, I'm just going, you have no idea. This power of persuasion is sad, You got to protect your daughters at all costs, everybody. I'm telling you right now. Even your sons. You got to protect your young, youthful daughters, especially your daughters. There's a lot of guys out there that are preying on young women, and the satisfaction of young women. I mean, it is insanity level. I mean, I know you guys see me on camera and stuff, but in person I look young, and I get pedos always coming up to me going like this: "Hey sweetheart, how are you doing?" No lie, honest to God, asking me how I'm doing today. And I'm looking at them like, do you fucking realize who the fuck you're talking to? Oh my God. Okay, then when they realize who the fuck they're talking to, and I back their asses up, they run. They just, so I know they're out there, because I look very young off this camera, and I get approached by pedos, and it's scary. And they're going, "Hey sweetie," you don't call no older woman like myself, "Hey sweetie," or "Honey, how are you doing?" Or something like that. I mean, it's weird, and guys cannot filter. I mean, it's I'm thinking, if I had a daughter and this motherfucker came up to my daughter and said this, hell the fuck, my mom, anybody that went near me to do anything to me, my mom would back their asses up. I'm telling you, my mom did not play games like that. But I don't understand, just like I said, I don't understand how, but it's sad. If you're going to rehab places or homeless shelters where, yes, there's a lot of young girls in there, my God, yeah, you're taking advantage of the people that have nothing, or they're homeless, or they really need money, It's so they're not going to care where their kids are at, because they're out in this world. It's freaking scary. It's scary. It's scary. But they, just like I said, when my one friend, I'm not even going to say the name, I'm not even going to go there. When my one friend's father tried to expose himself, my mom, and I went right to my mom and told her, she lost her fucking mind. She lost her mind. And hell have no fury, because she handled it. But that's a parent that cares about their child and not letting somebody try to hurt their kids, right? My mom would never let me do something, go off like that, Yes, there is. There's so much love to be found in this world. But, even, you just don't, everyone. You just don't. allow your children, your young daughters, to just run off and go sleeping overnight. You don't know what they're saying. You don't know what somebody else is telling them. You know, just tell your parents that you're here, you know, with so-and-so. You don't know that. That's why you got to check and make sure that your daughters are really going to their friend's house or somewhere. Because if you don't question any of that, then I don't know what kind of parent you are. You got to question nowadays, every day, what's going on. Who is your friends hanging with? Because this is another story. Like, you know, a lot of parents don't realize the influence that their kids' friends have over them. Because a friend of mine said that their daughter was friends with the one neighbor girl, and suddenly the neighbor girl did not want her to come home when her mom said, you got to get home. And she was so that's strange, everybody. You got to watch who your daughters are hanging around with, because they could be hanging around with kids that don't have the same values as you do, the same morals as you do, and they're putting shit in your kids' head that's not right, and then suddenly your kids fall into this cups of all kind of craziness. It happens to so many kids over and over and over again. And I think it's the society we're living in, because when I was younger, I've never really seen all this this stuff with gays and stuff like that. I mean, you know, we knew that there was gay people and stuff, but we never seen the amount of young people so out there and so not knowing what they are. Like, are they a boy or a girl? I've never seen this in my life, you know. And if you're over 50, you grew up and you didn't see all this stuff. Like, young people are friends not knowing if they were a boy or a girl. I've never in my life seen all this stuff. And so that's the generational thing where these young kids are going through now. They're finding out that their friends now all of a sudden don't know what they are. Then now your child that is good is hanging around people that suddenly don't know who the fuck they are, and now then your child don't know who they are. And this is the vicious cycle of what's happening also in our world with these young kids. Thank God I don't have any young kids, but I do have young grandchildren. But this is scary, everybody. This is just, it's a lot of stuff that's happening. It's so sad with our world. Yeah, you gotta hang on to your kids, everyone. Love your kids. You know, love your kids. Let them know that you're always there. Because, you know, when I was little, my mom said, you know, she always told me, like, you know, if you go down the road or something, if you go to somebody's house, just if something happens and you see them doing something, don't be involved with it, my mom would tell me, and just call her right away. That's what my mom would always tell me. Like, if somebody's doing something. But here's the thing, when I was little, my mom, I always had a car, so I could get away from somewhere, right? My friends didn't. I always had a car, so I could, if I was just going for a drive or something like that, or I'd have my friends, I would take them for a ride in my car, because I had a car. You know, so my mom would say, if you go somewhere, if something happens, just call me. But a lot of kids don't have that now. And my mom would always call all of us 20 times a day, check, make, see what's going on. But when I was younger, that's how my mom said that. But nowadays the kids don't have that, and it's really sad. It really is sad, everybody, that that kids don't have that kind of connection. Like, my mom and dad were married for close to 40 years before they died. And so, you know, my mom, you know, my mom and dad, we were all close, and we, you know, my mom would make sure that we would talk 20 times a day to make sure everything's all right and stuff. But people don't do that anymore to their kids. There's no communication like that. And that's sad, because, I mean, even like with my sons, I really wish that I could talk to them 20 times a day. But my you know, my sons are married. I can't, they're married. You gotta, you know, but I just feel like parents got to get back in their kids and worrying and being concerned what their young kids are doing, everybody. No, there's nobody passionate. I'm getting pulled over. But they got to worry about what their kids are doing, and they got to worry about who they're hanging around with. And that's serious talk, everybody, I'm telling you. Because if you don't have that connection with your kids and you break that and you lose that when you're younger, it's hard to get that back. It's hard to get that back, you know? And a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have a good connection because they never started it with their kids, you know? And it's really sad. But you gotta always tell your kids, be careful out there, you know? Somebody's trying to... Oh my God. Alright, buddy, I love you. I'll be back later on. I gotta enjoy my day. You know, seriously, gotta enjoy my day. But I'll be back for more talk, because there's a lot of issues that I was going to talk about in the van, because that's where he's like me at, in the van more than in the house. Or I like the van. I called the van the studio. I can't get rid of the van. I was going to get rid of the van, but then this is our studio, everyone. This is the freaking studio of talk, craziness, when my goofballism kicks in. Where do we go? To the van. When all that happens and I'm getting goofy and talking to all of you, it comes in the van. So we can't get rid of this. Is the studio on wheels. I'm gonna keep it like that. Gonna keep it like that, right? So I love you. Stay positive. Stay happy. I gotta get some water. I gotta get some water. I'll be back in the van to talk. But I think later on, maybe tonight, everyone, honestly, maybe let's see if we can do some sky watching. See something, because last night I was seeing stuff. Let me see if we can do. I got back too late last night. I got back at around after 12 o'clock in the morning. So I you know, it was too late to come on. I know all of you are probably sleeping, so I didn't want to come on at 12 o'clock after 12 o'clock midnight to talk to any of you. I was going to, but I didn't want to interrupt you and let you have a ding going off, right? So don't forget to double tap the screen, hit the subscribe and the like, everybody, because I really appreciate you. I greatly appreciate you 100%. But be good to your kids. Make sure you know with what you're seeing here, everyone, what you're seeing here, my loves, with the Epstein files and everything. Look at your kids. Look at your daughters in a whole different way. Look at your sons in a whole different way. And, you know, let them know that they need to respect themselves and respect their bodies, you know, because this is a different time we're living in. Their friends will tell them, you know, go out and have a boyfriend and have sex, and nobody's guiding the young girls to say, save yourself for, you know, someone special. So you got to do that, everybody. You got to talk to your kids, no matter how hard it is. And if you never talked to your daughters before, you got to be close to your daughters. I saw a guy, it really touched my heart. I wanted to take a picture of it. It really touched my heart so much. And it really made me realize that there's so many young guys out there that are in their 50s that really get their daughters. And so I was going into a Dollar Tree. I'll tell you a story real quick. I was going into Dollar Tree, and I looked over, and there was this, you know, I was going, like, you know, heading in the plaza to Dollar Tree, I had to stop for a minute, because there was a young father who was perhaps about 50, but he looked very young. And one thing I saw him doing that I never see any fathers do. My dad held my hand. He was holding his 13-year-old daughter's hand. I couldn't believe that. That father got it. That father got what it meant to hold on to your daughter and never let her go, because what's out there will hold on to your child and do something to your daughter that you don't want done to her. And I couldn't believe it. And I mean, almost had tears in my eyes, because I thought, wow, that guy there, that guy there is a hell of a father. He's a nice looking man too, but he was holding his 13-year-old daughter. She looked to be about 13 years old. He was holding her hand. Yes, he was. Now, that right there is a father that's like, no, ain't no man on this earth is going to step to my daughter with any damn thing. But when you build that kind of repertoire up, right, with your daughters, your daughter will remember that, everyone, and she will not let people violate her, because she knows that her father's got her hand, her father's got her back, and no one can take that away from her, right? And so if you're a father out there and you have a daughter, make sure if you don't want to hold her hand, make sure that she walks right beside you and lets you know that, and you let her know that you're beside her all the time, no matter what life throws at her. Because life's going to throw curveballs, that's just life. But when you can stand beside your daughter, and that father was, I would give him fucking the best father award ever. Besides, my dad, he held my hand, But, that I never seen that after that. I've never seen no man do that after that. Never, never, never. And I just, it blows my mind. I mean, but that respect that he had with his daughter, that at 14 years old, that she can hold her father's hand going into the store, is priceless. That's priceless. Everybody remember that. That's priceless. That father, you step to his daughter, he's gonna whoop some fucking ass on you real fast. But that being said, everybody, have a blessed day. I'll be back later on, and we'll talk then, okay?